The Alphabet of Longing is a poem, 26 stanzas long, and each stanza begins with a letter of the alphabet, so you can listen for the letter to see where each stanza begins. A. Always the hidden sea, deep in the desert. The breath rushing toward shore, receding, the blue solitude itself, a siren song. On this simple desert sand, I take a stand. Look then, although no riddle answered. This gate marked me is no mistake. Bees in the desert know secret sources of honey. Know how sweet rain gathers into the centers of flowers. How the moon sits at the right hand of God. How God sits at the right hand of the moon. Bees know this ancient show of weather. But I, conundrum to the end, can only hear with human ear the om of bees, can only see, not be, the ancient light, even before time, beginning its long journey to prick me now through this dark heaven. Can I, marooned in canyons, come to terms with anything? What peace there is here when I stop looking, here in this land of sage and sand and little water. Those who thought their need for power was strength, who thought that the attendant lies by which they lived were virtue, who think that tenderness is something to be destroyed, are not the victors now. They're nothing now. The tiny bee, the pollen on the rabbit brush, the twisted juniper I rest against mean more to me than all the rich lubricity of X, the lips of sensuous Y, the tidal sex of Z. Divine the star inside the hand. Each part of the body was once part of a star. Each piece of primal light transfigured into sound, then flesh, or love incarnate. In this primordial winter, the distance between fate and now seems little more than snow, little more than whispers made by the heart to the mad wind. Into the wooing of what is us, when everything is gone, uproots the desert silence. Except in some confused sense, no soul is ever wasted, ever lost, each lonely wing of heart descending on the wind to rise again. And even those who only seem to live, whose souls to them are only memory now, can survive to live again, can find their bones again by blessing those they blasphemed with their lies and lack of light, can know the simple truth of sage, the discipline of being fair, can know a solitude so deep the night itself begins to blossom. F. For love and what we have lost, I write these little poems, these longings that, like distant rivers, cataract in sleep, these invisible roses that rise through inconclusive syllables. In this obscure school, fragrance is philosophy. Each moment out only for me, a class where bees are masters, and this clear night, the only degree I ever wanted. Abandon everything you know and walk with me then here, where the Inner Canyon Institute, founded the day the world began, teaches flowers how to live on rock. Give me the rugged heart, the sincere heart that in the silence that always follows suffering still sings. Give me the heart that stands alone before the sea of false psychologies, forgiving those who broke the light because their need for power shadowed everything they thought. Give me the heart that fought for tenderness and failed, the heart that tumbled with the angels in the muddy streets. Give me the heart that, when all the schools of brain are dead, when every shore is breaking, dances still. He fought for tenderness and failed. Yes, true enough. But what modern zen of sorrow compensates for this? What ants feasting on the sweet jelly of the simple dead can satisfy his longing? What fantasy of cheap philosophy can churn old milk into butter? But in the falling, a rising, some integrity of grit, some definition of the soul, some final place where honey sits in windows, where everything our lives have promised us comes in each blessed night to break the moon with us, to eat. In what sweet canyon does the deep heart sleep? How do these building blocks of sound concatenate to language? What spirit wings restore themselves each night, falling toward the sun? And you, who live in pure confusion, pretending to be sane, how do you devour the pulp of old divinity? How do you honor each hour, each solitary seed, each subtle rose? What language lifts inside of you until the dust begins to walk? The silence that surrounds us can speak for us. There is grace inside each lonely breast. Just as the tenderness of a kiss can turn love green, language then can speak a rain to blossom silence, can lift a heart wandering in late afternoon to a high meadow where the only prayer remaining is the one we stand on and begin again to say. Kisses live in hearts, not lips. The ancient ships of longing know this. Love and what we have lost. What is a poem? The old brain suspended? A great river hides in the tree, and poetry must explain this. Moans of what is sometimes love give birth to human beings. And then the hair shirt of the brain begins to beat us towards some distant peace, some ritual of intellect turned true. I remember those nights when the moon turned lugubrious and blue, nights when the matter I thought lovely revealed something that was not light, revealed to me how evil eats the gold in day. I remember those eyes so devious and confident, seducing me toward some cadaver of deserted soul. But those who sit on orange crates and sing until the song itself transfigures form and longing, and sing until the deity of ordinary day and night and tiny grains of rice and honey delivers us to simple art, and sing until the marble calm of some old goddess gathers in our sleep. Yes, those can know the inexhaustible, the mystery of the magical heart. Now I lay me down to sleep among the messages of saints and books on sacred sex and bees, and pray the Lord this soul to keep and wake before I die. In this slow water between now and day, I see the shore at the end of the bed. In these solitary sheets, I find old books that have not been opened for centuries, and many faces, like loving fishes, circle the bed. Who knows what dance this is, whose feet these are I dance upon? Who knows what ancient seasons play their tune, what angels live in gentle dark? Often, all night long, sitting, through a wake that somehow is for me. A crucible of sorts where words like dust and soul have lost what little sense they ever had. I see the haze around the hour. I see the hair of night, the strands of love so tangled that only the insanity of sleep can lift us out of everything that rocks the house in this high tide of loneliness. Pray without ceasing. Pray through syllables of grief and longing. Pray through dislocated love. Pray through derelict divinity. Pray through that fatigue that comes with being in the midst of mouths filled with corpses. Pray through the ridiculous guns, the lack of bread. Pray through the drowned roses and the dry lips, the dying texts. Pray like the rivers the moon rides upon. Pray like infants raising their hands. Pray like the bees clustered together all winter, eating secret sources of honey. Questions. What is Eden to the soul's longing, or Satan to the limbs of lust? What walks on 4 legs like the Sphinx and 5 legs in a bed of love? And where was God the day the world began, and where was sand before the sea that filled this desert, left for other shores? What brain broke loose tonight and went to God? Who knows what stranger lurks in love? What saints unravel in the night? Who knows what woman waits, sincere as weather, in the heart room of this longing? Rough angels rise out of the snow and wind, buffeting me with love and low temperatures until the mind drifts away, leaving only this lumbering body, the snow packed in jeans and denim jacket, these rings of winter light around the heart. Surviving on loaves of dark hair, on long letters, on little seeds of oriental rice, I earn each day the hard way, $1 for a candle, a little jar of honey, the way of longing so intense that even the moon shakes its rugged head. These confessions I offer tie me to you, who perhaps have also known loss, have known some missing dignity of place, or something called career that long ago gave up on us and moved away before the muse of longing turned so complicate inside of us that even in our sleep it walked. Under the delusion of love, I walked through years of stone, but little by little, pieces of me stopped walking, stopped being fooled by power posturing as passion. Stop being fooled by all the sick psychologies our century succumbs to. Stop being fooled by all the forgeries of soul. I stopped. And little by little, love returned. And the full moon, that pale bell I had forgotten, again broke through the bedroom window. Victory was never mine in any venture. But things that have no venture to them can have victory in them. Bees and poetry and desert rescued me, and a few stout souls who love in some of us the heart that lingers in the dust of stars turned flesh. Yes, they remained with me. Devotion to a few things only, to a few persons only, purifies the heart, until at last our life comes in and makes itself at home. Until at last our life comes in and makes itself at home. When distant sound begins to tumble into language and the lover lowers her dark voice to speak, what universe has made the journey into this? What heart then, so long ago, began this journey into sound? The secret that the pieces of the air can sing, but not this simple mouth. Wake and let the wooing of the day begin. The day deeper than prayer, deeper than page, deeper than any sound we ever uttered. Some tree refoliate with spring. A day that wakens us to subtle angels out of realms our metaphysics never reach. X marks the spot in this poem where I succumb to naked sentimentalism. Not that I haven't already, but X marks the spot in this poem where I succumb to naked sentimentalism. I stop now and remember the names of some of those I love. I say them softly now. This is a litany I can live with, a litany that lifts me into grace. This is the grail I found when all was lost. These sacred canyons are the court whose homage to life lived with intelligence and soul and grace, no matter what the weather. And this old moon, the only royal scepter. Why? You who are reading this poem, stop. And now enter some names sacred for you. Some little things that connect. And remember, eat your own beans out of your own hand. Take a broom to broken brain. Love obscure people and simple things. The smell of sage after a rain. The dignity of bees. The tenderness of rock and trees. Then late some sacred night under the forgotten moon, let your soul break loose and gallop through the meadows of your longing. Let those wings lurking in the shadows lift you. Let the cup that is your heart fill with joy. Let the oceanic emptiness wash inside you until the blood itself comes clean again. Zero of divinity plus longing add up to this. A song that only sailors sing when lost at shore. But sing these songs we must, because it is our longing that delivers us to the star inside the dust. Thank you.
Wait.
And maybe I should mention that since we've come to Z, huh?
Yeah.
People are always wondering how I'm going to end this,
Yeah.
What are you going to do for Z? Z. Zero of divinity plus longing adds up to this. A song that only sailors sing when lost at shore. but sing these songs we must, because it is our longing that delivers us to the star inside the dust.